All right, guys, welcome back to SBRvideo.com. We're still in the middle of the All-Star break here, so what better time to look forward to some more futures. Today we're looking at the AL MVP with our boy Charles Stark. How's it going, Charles?
It's going good, Matt. How you doing?
Doing excellent. Can't wait for these games to pick back up tomorrow, but in the meantime, we're just going to move right ahead, and like I said, we're taking a look at some futures. Now, first and foremost here, we're taking a look at the high value here. Obviously, if you're looking to bet the winner, I feel like we already know who that's going to be at this point, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I think we both know, this is pretty much Mike Trout's MVP race to lose. I mean, especially after that All-Star game. The guy's phenomenal. There was a really good cutscene in the All-Star game with Bryce Harper talking to somebody, just like, Trout can run, bro. Man, that guy's unbelievable. And it's true. He is. He's unbelievable. Right now, we're going to talk about some other guys on the plus money, though. But you and I both know, I mean, it's Trout's to lose.
So let's take a look at some of the higher value plays. Now, first off, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about Miggy, even though he's injured right now.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera, I mean, the guy's hitting 350. He has just about 50 less at bats than Mike Trout, but and only 4 less hits. I mean, the guy is an absolute monster. He's a hitting machine, one of the best hitters of this generation. And you can't kind of count him out. There's some really good plus money on him. The key is how quickly is he going to come back from injury. So, if you were going to go that route, I have to really stay up on his injury report to see maybe by next week, maybe there's some good signs he's recovering quicker than they think. Then it might not be a bad play because, when he comes back, he could carry the Tigers into the playoffs. He's one of the few players in the league that could probably do that.
Yeah, like you said, the guy's a horse. I expect him back pretty quickly, and, he can put up numbers quick enough to make a run at this. But for right now, he's a real dark horse in my book. I'm going to take a look real quick right now. I know he's a DH, and I know you're against that, but Prince Fielder, he's hitting so well right now for average, on-base percentage, on point. The only thing is he needs to get his power numbers up a little bit, I think, to really get himself into contention for this.
Yeah, how surprising is that? He only has 14 home runs so far at the midway point. I know it's been a pitcher's league so far this year, but that's surprising for him. Now, he is coming back, and he is having a resurgent year, so it's really fun to see him back. Great All-Star game. The Rangers are not really going to be in it, so that's going to hurt him just a little bit. He's a fun guy to root for. But again, Matt, the DH position does not win. We were talking about this earlier. You got a guy like Miguel Cabrera who basically has to win the Triple Crown to win it. And also he played a little bit of the field. And then we have to go back all the way to like the 1970s when Don Baylor won it as a DH. I mean, DHs traditionally don't win the MVP award.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I just, look, if he starts knocking balls out of the park, it'd be hard to ignore. But
sure,
I
agree. I agree with you on that.
All right, now a position that does win MVPs, though, and I know a guy you're pretty high on is Donaldson at third base for Toronto.
Sure. The only thing that's hurting him right now is his average. He's 17th in the league as far as batting average, but he's still around that 300 range. He is 8th in OPS. He's up there in WAR. He's a middle range type of third baseman. He ranks in the middle as far as fielding. Not such a big deal as far as the MVP race is concerned. But he had one of those highlight plays that voters tend to remember, that dive into stands to save that no-hitter, at least up until that point. And he's having one heck of a year for the Blue Jays. So, he's a guy at the plus money value. If somebody's going to make a run at Trout, and the Blue Jays, like we talked about in our previous webcast, we talked about the Blue Jays possibly making a run here in that AL East. They have the biggest run differential. He might be in it. If that's the case and they make that push, although it doesn't have to be that, you might start, people might be talking about Donaldson a lot more come September.
Absolutely. And, it's also important to note, like you just pointed out, the fact that he's on a winning team, Texas in contention. Obviously, the Angels doing very well right now. So, money bet probably on Trout. But if you want to take a chance, maybe make some big profits, the other two guys we talked about, Donaldson and Fielder and Miggy, always on the table. Definitely something you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, my final advice would be if you're not sure, I would take a really close look at Cabrera and see if he's coming back a little bit sooner than people think. Check out the injury report, and then he'd be the first guy I would take for sure. And if you want to take a dark horse, I think it's got to be Donaldson right now. He's right in it with the numbers. He's playing on a winning, well, not a team that's going to be in contention. He's a heck of a ball player. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's Mike Trout. It really is. It's too bad. It's too bad the juice on him is a little bit high. But if you want to put your money on a guy that's going to win it, barring anything strange, he's your guy you want to take for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, but. Like I said, want some value, take a look at these other guys we just talked about, and obviously we're going to be back in a little bit to talk NL MVP futures with you guys right here at Sportsbook Review.